ओके ओके। Yeah. Good morning.
So good morning, sir. Very good morning, sir. Very
Yeah,
good
very,
morning to
yeah,
all participants also.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, so
very. Can you
I
please,
invite, sir. I
no,
will
no,
just invite all of the persons, sir. 1 minute, sir.
participants will invite. For me, no need. Okay.
Sir. So I invite all the participants for this today's session. So that session is again, sir, from Dr. Somshekar Iramet, IIT Madras, sir. So yesterday they delivered a very nice speech, and we are all motivated from his speech. Again, today sir is going to give us one energetic topic here. So please do all watch with very good interest. We will hope we'll have a very good session now.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, many people are there. Yesterday, Manjunath, Uma, Jyotishri, Krishnaveni, many people I am seeing here. Now, how many are attended? I don't know yesterday. I hope all are attended. Shruti, yesterday you are there, ma? Shruti? Shruti is not there. Gopal Krishnan is there. Okay, Praveen.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good. Good morning, Praveen. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay. Now we'll start today's talk. Yesterday you are there, Praveen?
हाँ sir, yesterday was there.
Yeah, good, Praveen. Yogesh is there. Chandra, many are there. 89 people are there. Manjunath is there. Okay. Very nice. Sushma, many people are there. I am very happy. All are Kannadigas, almost all. Am I correct?
Yes sir.
Sir, total 104 are Kannadigas and remaining all are from other states, sir.
Very good. Okay.
50%,
What you are expecting? Okay, Dhruv Kumar. What you people are expecting today's class? I will talk on the robot kinematics. Can you please chat box? You will send 1 or 2 words. Look here. Always I don't want very big lines. Only 1 or 2 words. What you are expecting from the today's class? Can you please post in the chat box? Just I will see. Then also I come across you people are teaching this robotics from so many years. Assuming that my friend is telling what is Jyotishri, post it robotics working state. DH, very nice. My friend is using, Shaikh is using, DH notation. Yes, very good. DH parameter representation is very important. What is that? Working robotic machine. Now, robot kinematics means what you are expecting. Can you please list it out? Hope that Dhruv Kumar, all are, came across this robotics in one or the other way. Or some friend is telling matrix calculation. Yes, the today's class is fully based on the matrix algebra. Correct? How degree of freedom works, sir? Yes, pa. Degree of freedom is very important. To suit for the various applications. Sometime it required 3 degree of freedom. Sometime it required 6 degree of freedom. Workspace analysis. Degree of freedom in robotic arm. Yes. Jyotishri, correct. Next, robotic configurations. Very good. Very good. Chandra Bhogi is telling robotic motion configurations. Forward and inverse kinematics. Very Vijay is telling forward and inverse kinematics. Robotic for education field. Okay. Now, friends. Okay. We'll start. Mathematics involved. Yeah. Excellent. Who is he? Satyanarayan. Correct, Satyanarayan, you are correct. Shankarappa is telling DOF, degree of freedom. Vinay is telling displacement analysis. Yes, pa. Very good. Displacement analysis. Very good term. This is also called R motion. Correct? R matrix you have to write. R matrix, which will relates the displacement as well as orientation of the end effector. Velocity analysis. Vijay, velocity analysis. Okay. Now, okay, Shameen Bhanu is telling, Shameen, you are not telling anything? Shameen Bhanu, what you are expecting, ma? Nandini is telling robotic motion, correct? Then kindly all will switch off your videos and this thing, robotic motion, DOF, okay, now, okay. Shall we start now, Dhruv Kumar? Uma?
Sir, you can start, sir.
Yeah, Dhruv Kumar, because Dhruv Kumar, be online, here
Yes,
only,
sir.
I just audio.
Yes,
You
sir,
have
yes, sir.
Harapanalli, I think, Harapanalli, some problems are there, internet connectivity.
No problem, sir. Today everything is right, sir. No problem, sir.
I'm so happy. Yesterday you are having faced a problem. What about
sir.
rain? All places are raining, it is correct?
No, sir. From here, from last week, there is no raining, sir. From here.
Then you are so good. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now kindly you don't switch on your thing. Shankarappa Chamlapur. Shankarappa Chamlapur, correct? Okay. Okay, very good. Kindly don't switch on your this thing, video. Now, first I will tell you, you are studying this robotics, assuming that from so many years or days robotics, meaning it will involve the mathematics. What you are seeing is a real machine. What we are doing in the design and development of the robotics, what I am doing now is currently I'm embedding the human intelligence, meaning I'm mimicking my brain in the machines. As because machines can do by itself how human beings are thinking. When you will come across the pit, then we are jumping, correct? You know how to handle the situations, correct, Samuel? Correct? How are you, Samuel? Okay, no problem. In between, Dhruv Kumar, I'll call you because you have to tell yes, sir, it is going smoothly. Otherwise, I'll stop that time. Okay?
Sir, definitely, sir. I will be here for 1.5 hours, sir.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, no problem. Because we should not waste time now. We'll start the lecture immediately. But you'll assuming that you people will refer some of the important books like Robert Schilling, Craig, Robot Analysis. These are the very good books for the what you will call robot kinematics as well as dynamics. These are called as Bibles to the IIT Madras, like a Craig, as well as Robert Schilling book we are referring. Also, you'll remember, friends, this is a course I'm handling from so many years, around 6-7 years. I handled this for the MTech. We are taking actually the 52 hours to teach this subject. It is. But robot kinematics, I am taking in the class around 10 class or maybe 15 class also. As my friends are posing here, we required the what you will call matrix algebra, starting with the vectors, what are how to represent the frames, how to represent the object frame. Many things you are learning in this subject. It required the rigorous mathematics. Assuming that all people are very good in the maths, then I will share my slides. Okay, you feel free to note down your doubts, and later you will send on the chat box. And I'm requesting Dhruv Kumar to consolidate and send to me. I will a 3D transformation. Yes, Basavaraj Patil is telling 3D transformation. Let us will see how best you people are understanding. It is not so easy as the robot mathematics is a matrix algebra. All we are representing in the matrix form. Whether either it may be the displacement or it may be the rotations. Let us will begin today, okay, very quickly, because I am having one more talk on 11:30. Before that, we have to finish this talk, okay. I will begin now. Dhruv Kumar, after sharing the slide, you have to tell me it is visible to you, okay. You'll read it first line, then only I will start, okay.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, please enjoy the class. And how many people are keeping the white sheet and at least pen? You will write pen and white sheet, then you will work with me. It is easy for you people. At least you will write the main highlights of the point, because we are a teacher. We are expecting, from the student. Student should not sit like watching like a movie. It is yesterday is the movie. I have shown movie, but today I am not showing you Shivanand Swami. I am not showing movie today. What you will do, you will see the mathematics behind it. You appreciate the technology. How when I'm moving you are seeing my arm here. You'll see here my fingers are saying to you. Dhruv Kumar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is seeing, sir.
That is very important because I'm using now today my arms and many things I'm using. If it is visible to you, all assuming that, okay. All motions, like if I am physically there, I will make you to work in the sheets, but I am not able to do it. But I will show you some of the things to you. Okay. Let us begin our talk today. I'm calling Dhruv Kumar to read the first line. Hmm? No, please, kindly. Jyoti Shri. Jyoti is not there today. Uma.
Hello, sir. Good
Jyoti,
morning,
you are
sir.
seeing the slide, first slide?
Jyotishri, there, sir.
I shared my.
Yes, sir. Your first slide is
What is
visible,
that?
sir.
Can you please read?
Yes, sir. Your PPT is there on the.
Read first line.
Robot Kinematics, Somsekhar, the Precision Engineering and Implementation Laboratory.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now,
Sir, robotic kinematics. You
Assuming
can
that
start, sir.
assuming that all you are seeing
Yes,
my
sir.
slide, I will start my presentation, today's talk on robot kinematics. Okay, thank you very much. In between, I will call you
Yes.
Jyoti.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mute it now.
I'll mute my mic. Yes, I'll mute my microphone now, sir.
Okay. Kindly
Yes.
all you
Thank you, sir.
mute your video as well as audio, because otherwise disturbance is there. Other people who are interested to don't come and go. That is very important. All we are teachers. We have to learn something 1.5 hours. Okay. Let us begin with my glimpse of the presentation. What you are getting from the today's lecture is one is basic robot motions and kinematic chain, kinematic pairs, and the types of robots. Robots are classified based on the kinematic pairs. How it is, I will tell you very quickly. These are very quick presentations. Then I will go to in detail other things. Robot kinematics and a manipulator kinematics. Numbering the joints and links. How to number the joints and links. How to represent the frame. Every time you have to fix the frame to the nodes. How to fix this frame. This frame is nothing but orthogonal coordinate frame it is. How to fix to the nodes, each node. Because, nodes are nothing but here the actuators, correct? Then forward and inverse kinematic, as my friend told you, I will give you some quick glance on the forward and inverse kinematics. And the DH parameters, and very important thing is mapping. People are not used to this term, and very important it is mapping. The mapping means how to map the what you will call end effector to the base. That is what you will call arm matrix. Meaning everywhere in robot kinematics, what we are doing, friends, we are mapping the end effector is the last joint, and we are mapping this to the base, or sometimes the base to the end effector. This we are doing in the mapping. Mapping is a very important in the kinematics, which involves the sometimes you have to translate, sometimes you have to rotate to match with the frame how you are attaching to the base. That is very important. Then finally, I will conclude my presentations. Let us will see this basic robot motion. What is this basic robot motion? Friends, we know that to place the point in space, how many degrees of freedoms are required? Minimum degree of freedom is 6 degrees of freedom. What are those 6 degrees of freedom? 3 principal axes is there, X, Y, Z, correct? This X, Y, Z will define the position of point in space. Then what I will do, how it is oriented this point, meaning end effector, I required another 3 axes, what we will call minor axis, theta X, theta Y, theta Z. Meaning basic robot motions are the minimum degree of freedom. How many degrees of freedom? 6 degrees of freedom. How to define the 6 degrees of freedom in the robot, we'll see now. Whatever the configuration, friends, whatever the robot configuration, whether it is a cylindrical, Cartesian, whatever it is, Cara robot, or whatever it is, the purpose of robot is to perform the useful task or a productive work. The work is accomplished by enabling the robot to move its body or arm, whatever you will call. Body and arm is one only, please remember, friends. And the wrist is a end part, where to the arm I am attaching the wrist. Wrist is nothing but your fingers, how to handle. The wrist is where you are attaching the tool, welding gun, correct, spray painting gun. This is the last part, wrist. Meaning body and arm, you will define the 3 axes. And the wrist, you will define the 3 axes. All you'll remember, friends, now what I am teaching is the serial manipulator. Similarly, mobile robotics, the algorithms are different and kinematics and dynamics will varies. That is very easy compared to this. Attached to the wrist, what I am telling, all wrist is the last part. You have to attach the end effector or a tool, which is used to perform the specific task. For the end effector, wrist, what you will do, you will attach the tool to the wrist. Wrist is like your, look here, fingers. Here you will attach the welding gun or whatever it may be, For example, spot welding gun, spray painting gun, whatever it is, or a drill bit you will attach to the wrist. Hence, the robot motions are divided into 2 categories: arm and body motions, wrist motion. The individual joint motions associated with these categories are referred as a degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedoms are the motions. The minimum degrees of freedom required to place any object in space is 6 degrees of freedom, as I have told you. 3 major axes, 3 minor axes. Let us will see what is this arm and body. You'll see, friends, now I am showing you here the base is there here. Please see the base. And then arm and body is this, all arm and body. End is there, no, this is called a wrist. I am written here wrist assembly. Wrist assembly is like either a 2-handed finger or a 3-handed fingers or whatever it is. Wrist we are attaching. Now you'll see, friends, I am showing you the arm and body assembly motions, meaning you'll concentrate on the axis what I have mentioned here. One I mentioned here, rotational axis, vertical traverse, radial traverse. These are called arm and body motion. Let us will see what are these. What is a vertical traverse? You'll see, friends, here vertical traverse means up and down motion of the arm. What you will do? You'll move up and down. You'll see the axis. Directions I mentioned here, you'll see vertical motion means the whole body you have to move up and down. It is called a vertical traverse, up and down motion of the arm. Because already I pivoted here, correct? This is called vertical traverse. Then what is a radial traverse, friends? Here, this is a wrist, no? You have to take the wrist in and out, in and out. You'll see the radial traverse means I will take like this. Using prismatic joint is there. You will move up, extension and retraction of the arm. In and out motion of the arm it is. Next, one more is there, rotational traverse. What I will do, the whole body, what is there, no? All these things you will move around the pivot point. Meaning rotation of the whole body around this rotational traverse. These are called as the arm and body motions. Then I will come to the wrist here. Wrist, how the axes are defined here. Wrist. Now I am marked wrist assembly, correct? Now I will see here wrist bend is there. Wrist means you'll remember, friends. Now you don't go to arm, full arm. You will go only your arm. Look here. Only you will see this, friends. How I am moving here, up and down, left and right, and rotating. Correct. These are called as what we will call wrist bend, wrist swivel. What are those? You will see. Wrist swivel means what? See, friends, my only front fingers. How I am removing? Look here. It is a rotation. This is called a wrist swivel. Rotation of the wrist swivel. It is rotating. Then wrist bend, you'll see here my front one only, up and down movement of the wrist alone. You don't worry about the arm and body. After doing the XYZ motion, I'm positioning by using the wrist, up and down motion of the wrist. Then the wrist means you'll see my arm like this, see here, like this, right and left swivel of the wrist. Uma, Jyotishri?
Yes, sir. No problem.
1 minute. You are seeing my hand also, hand and finger.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Your video is
good.
no problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Switch off. Now we know the arm and body is a 3 degree of freedom you will get, meaning to move X, Y, Z. After moving X, Y, and Z, I am reaching in the space. Then I will orient. Orient means what I am using? Wrist bend, wrist swivel to position. Meaning, look here, I will rotate the point along x-axis or a y-axis or a z-axis, or I will move up and down like this, or left and right like this. You don't bother about arm and body. Arm and body I used to place the object, x, y, z, major axis. The wrist assembly motions are called as minor axis. That is what you will call theta x, theta y, theta z. Then next one is, what is this kinematic chain? This kinematic chain is the assembly of links and joints. Please remember, friends, nothing but it is an assembly of links and joints interconnected in a way to provide a controlled output motion in response to the input motion. Very simple it is. You remember, kinematic chain is an assemblage of links and joints. Links are the rigid bodies. Friends, like this is called a link. You are seeing pencil, what I am showing, it is a link. But joint is a, what you will call, it will move. Either it is a, what you will call rotary joint or a prismatic joint. Or the prismatic. You'll see the kinematic chain, these kinematic chains may be open type. As you are seen in all industrial robots, it is called a serial linkages or a tree structures. Closed type, kinematic chains, closed type, what you will call table platforms. They are also known as necklace type, like a, what you will call parallel manipulators. All comes under the closed type of kinematic chain. I will show you here. See the basic topology, friends, here. Open means what? One, down one you will see here. It is a one link I am attaching to the ground, and others are movable. Others are movable. The various links are there, various joints are there. It may take like the tree also. Necklace you will see like a table, round table, or a hexapod or anything, many things. These are the topologies. We are now today we are working for the open topology. Open topology means it is a serial connection of the links connected by the joints. Two links are connected by the joint like this. The base one is fixed and the final end is movable. It is movable. Okay. Apart from this, now what is very important thing is kinematic pairs. Types of joints used in the robotics, because there are different types of joints are there. You come across and you're teaching this subject. Very, very important to understand the robot kinematics is kinematic pairs, or it is also known as types of joints. What type of joints we are using in the robots? The kinematic pairs, connection between the pair of bodies, links and joints. Upper pair has a line or a point contact. You come across, there are two types of pair, upper pair and a lower pair. What is upper pair? Upper pair, line contact is there, point contact, as we have seen in the gears, cam followers. Then one more is lower pair. We are having the surface contact, friends. Example is revolute joint and a prismatic joint. Please understand this. Upper pair is a line or a point contact. Lower pair is a surface contact. Then can you please tell me what we are using in the robotics? Robotics, we are using the lower pairs. Please remember, friends, lower pair is one where it is a surface contact is. These are the joints we are using. First one you will see, friends, revolute joint. What is the degree of freedom revolute joint is having? 1 degree of freedom. Meaning you will see in the figure here I am showing you, you move, rotate this thing along this axis. Revolute joint is 1 degree of freedom. Other degree means what you will call, if theta x is allowed, along x is allowed, y, z and x, y, z all are constrained. Degree of constrained motion is 5. As I have told you, 6 degree of freedom. Revolute joint is having rotation along the any axis. There is only 1 degree of freedom. It is represented as R. R means revolute, friend. Prismatic joint means P. Prismatic, you will see, it is a sliding motion. You will see this figure, prismatic, what I am writing, translational. You will move, extend and retract the end effector. Extend and retract. For example, your piston and cylinder, what is having? It is a prismatic joint. Again, it is having only, it will extend and retract, 1 degree of freedom. Other degrees are constrained. Constrained means arrested in all degrees of freedom. P it is called, prismatic is P. Helical joint is there, again 1 degree. Don't think it is a 2 degree. It is a coupled rotation and translation. That's why it is called 1 degree of freedom. Degree of constraint is 5. RP, even though coupled means rotation as well as movement, prismatic. Cylindrical, how many degrees of freedom is there? Cylindrical joint, 2 degree of freedom. What are those? You'll see here down sketch. You will move up and down like a prismatic, and also you'll revolve this. You'll revolve this. That's why it is a 2 degree of freedom. Constraint is 4. Correct? Universal joint, what is again 2 degree of freedom. You'll see the universal joint, what I am shown here. It is a 2 degree of freedom, RR. You'll see here, it will revolve along this axis and revolve along this axis. Planar. Planar is having 3 degree of freedom, friends. What is that? You'll see this object, what I'm showing, top object, you'll move along x-axis, y-axis. Also, you'll revolve this top body. That's why it is a planar joint is having 3 degree of freedom. Other degree is constraint. It is also called as PPR pair. Spherical, you'll see spherical, 3, all are rotations. And you'll see all are rotations. Spherical joint it is. No translation available in the spherical joint. But you'll remember, friends, if anybody asks you how many types of joints we are using in robotics, means basically only 2 out of 7. You remember only 2. What is that? Revolute joint and a prismatic joint. These are very, very important joint. Revolute joint is having 1 degree of freedom. Other degrees are arrested. Prismatic is also having 1 degree of freedom. Sliding motion it is. Other 5 degrees are arrested. Okay. Then you will see these combination of R and P. R means revolute and P means prismatic, up and down or left and right, whatever the move. You will get the different types of robots. Very quickly, I will show you these things. The geometry of the work envelope is based on this. If you see the Cartesian, friends, you'll see in Cartesian, all are the prismatic joints. You'll see prismatic joints I am using. Total revoluted joint is 0 in the Cartesian coordinated robot. Cylindrical, you'll see only 1 rotation, others are prismatic. The type of revolute joint is 1. Why it is important? I am telling you later. Spherical robot, the 2 are revolute, 1 is prismatic. 2 revolute joints are I am using. SCARA is also similar type. RRP, meaning 2 revolute joints are there. But you will see the articulated, all are revolute joints. Type of revolute joints is 3. But you will see, friends, the prismatic joints are very easy to model. But if the number of revolute joints are increasing in the robot, your complexity of matrix manipulation or calculation increases. You remember the severity in the robot kinematics. As far as the analysis of motion of the arm is concerned, prismatic joint tend to be simpler than revolutes. Therefore, the last column in the table shows the complexity of the arm, how it is. If R is increasing, revolute joints are increasing in your robot, complexity increases. Only P, very easy to, because only X, Y, Z motion, no rotation. Please remember, friends. Now, very quickly, I will show you the Cartesian coordinate robot. It is also known as rectangular coordinate robot. What is that? Prismatic joint, as I have told you, PPP. You will see the sketch here. You will move this whole arm up and down, or extend and retract. And also here, you will move this wrist in and out. All are called the prismatic joint. Nothing but your piston and cylinders. Very easy example for the hydraulic actuator. Then sliding joint, as I have told you, up and down motion. Please see the sketch also, friend, up and down motion. Another one is in and out of the arm, whole arm assembly. Sliding joint, back and forth of the wrist. So the work volume you will get as a rectangular box. You'll see here in this sketch, rectangular box. Please remember, friends, this is very important, work volume, because you are working in this range only. Beyond this is not able to work. The work volume is 1, your working range will decide. What is this working volume? How will get it? All are in extended position only. Please remember, This is fully extended. This is also fully extended, without the wrist, without the tool. You will trace it. I will get the rectangular box, meaning your working range is only this. Beyond this, robot can't do. Meaning you'll remember while deciding the work volume is very, very important. In the extended position, work volume when they will draw in the extended position, which mainly based on the link lengths, correct? Link length. These are called link 1, link 2, link 3. When the same Cartesian robot, what we will call rectangular coordinate robot, hangs from the top, you'll see now it hangs from the top frame, it is known as gantry robot. Gantry robot is nothing but Cartesian coordinate robot. You'll see here how to trace the work volume in extended position. Also, you'll remember Jyotishri, all people will remember the MATLAB codes are there, well developed codes. You people give the assignment to student to draw the all work volume, provided you will give you the link length, okay, joint angle, all you will give to student. The students will submit the work. They will very easy to do in MATLAB to trace the work volume. Now we'll see the cylindrical coordinate robot, what we will call only one revolute joint is there. It is also known as RPP, as I already told you. One revolute, two sliding. You'll see, referring to this figure, you'll see now what is a revolute joint. One, it will do, it is a swing the arm back and forth. It is rotate, whole thing will rotate around this. Then sliding joint 2 moves the wrist up and down. You'll see the axis, how I am marking, up and down you will do. One more is sliding joint 3 moves this only wrist in and out, in and out. Since there will be some minimal radian, because radial distance is there, joint is there, no, here radial position, the work envelope generated by this joint configuration is the volume between the two vertical concentric cylinders as shown in figure here, because of this diameter of the link. You will get the work envelope is a two concentric cylinder. You'll see here, don't attach any wrist here. Only all are in the extended position. You'll sweep it along the axis. You will get the work volume. Now we'll see spherical coordinate robot, RRP. Two revolute joints are there. You'll see friends here. One is revolve along this and another is move the wrist end and up. You will rotate along this pin point. What are those? You will see revolute joint 1 swings the arm back and forth about the vertical axis. Revolute joint 2 pitches the motion up and down, as I have told you. Then sliding joint make the wrist in and out. Then how to get the work volume? All are in the extended position. Work envelope is a volume between the two concentric spheres. These spheres are truncated from the above, below, and behind by the limits of the travel. Because robot should move, no, you will get the work envelope like a spheres, top and bottoms are removed because the robot is here, work envelope of the spherical robot. Now SCARA is also same thing, friends. Again, I am using the 2R and 1P, but speciality of this SCARA is a selective compliance assembly robot arm. It is SCARA is a abbreviated form of the selective compliance assembly robotic arm. SCARA is coined in Hiroshi Makino, the inventor of this new class of robot for the assembly of printed broad circuit and other electronic devices with a flat geometry. What are these? Similar to spherical joint, the SCARA's axis are all are vertical. See, the axis movement are vertical only in the SCARA robot. See here, friends. One is revolving about the vertical axis. Again, it is revolved here. Then it is move up and down in vertical position only. Revolute joint 1 swings the arm back and forth, similar to previous one. Revolute joint swings the forearm back and forth. And sliding joint move down and up. Only this is SCARA assembly. Special thing it is. But all the axes are vertical only in the SCARA robot. The work volume created by the SCARA is like this. Again, two concentric, like a ellipse based on the moment, you will get like this work volume. Last one is a articulated coordinate robot, what we will call RR robot. Very complicated. All are revolute joints only. Is a dual of Cartesian coordinate in the sense that because Cartesian, what we are having, all are PPP. It is a RRR. That's why I'm telling. All the axes are now it is a revolute joint. The articulated coordinate robot is the most anthropomorphic configuration that is most closely resembles your anatomy of the human arm. Revolute joint 1, similar to previous, swings the arm back and forth about the vertical. You'll see here, all these things will swing it. Revolute joint 2, pitches up and down, whole body will move up and down. Then revolute joint 3, pitches the forearm up and down about the horizontal elbow axis. These joint motion create a complex work envelope with a side view cross section typically looks like a crescent shaped divider. It is very critical. It is if you will do in the extended position, work envelope is you will get like this. It is a similar to your anthropomorphic characteristics of the arm. Jyotishri.
Sir, it's okay, sir.
Good,
It's doing well, sir.
Very good. Because, I want to know connectivity because, I'm not seeing anyone. That's why I'm asking you in between, please.
No problem, sir. I'm here only, sir.
Now, we go to the robot kinematics. What is this robot kinematics? What we are doing? Robot kinematics is simply the study of robot arm motion without considering the force and mass properties. Understand this. Robot kinematics, I am not considering any force and mass properties. Only I will study the motion of the robot. Deals with position, velocity, acceleration of all the links without considering the forces or a torque that cause this motion. It is simply defined as the analytical study of geometry of robot arm motion with respect to a fixed reference coordinate system. Please remember, it is the analytical study of the geometry of robot motion with respect to fixed reference coordinate system or a universal coordinate system without regarding the forces or torque. Please remember, friends, this is nothing but in robot kinematics, what I'm doing, I'm writing the R matrix. What is R matrix? Which maps the end effector to the base. The base is a fixed reference plane. All are orthogonal in X, Y, Z, all orthogonal in directions, orthogonal axis. On the other hand, the robot dynamics, I will not touch this, robot dynamics, it is a very big and a very tedious, which will study the, again, similar to same, but I am considering here the forces and a torque. Here you will get the Jacobians and many things. But here I am considering the mass properties also. The robot kinematics deals with aspects of redundancy, collision avoidance, and singularity avoidance. Please remember, friends, robot kinematics, if you are understanding very neatly, then studying the dynamics is very easy. It will come to you, but all the basic fundamental is robot kinematics. I'm requesting all the teacher, you will teach up to this, then you are converting very good engineer in robotics. Because later what I am doing only considering the forces and mass property. Also, even though matrix manipulation is very big, now powerful processors are there, you will implement in the computer, they will do all dynamic things. No need to worry much. But kinematics is a very, very, very important. But most of the colleges are also, they are teaching that. That is good, but you will teach very nicely. You see the manipulator. What is this manipulator? Series. You will see this is called a manipulator. What is this manipulator? Manipulator is physically has a several links connected to each other. See friends here in this figure. See green and another green. One more red here down. All are called a links. What are links, friends? Already told you. Links are the rigid bodies. then these links are connected with the joints. Circles are there, no, here, they are called as a joint. What I will call kinematic pair it is. We are already discussed. Generally, we are using, what are these? Now I am showing Revolute. You will use prismatic also. The joints connecting the links is a linear or a rotary or sometimes both. Often, the base link is connected to the ground or a foundation. Please remember, it is called as the base link L0, the joint is J0, where you are attaching to the fixed. That's why it is called fixed platforms. Until you will fix this, I am not able to study the motion of this because all our relative motions are there. That's why the ground, the one link or a one joint, which is known as the ground link or a ground joint. It is arrested. The final one is a wrist, which can be moved based on the joints, previous joints. Link of the manipulator is defined as a rigid body moving in a plane or a three-dimensional space and has a constrained motion with the adjacent links. Physically, a link has, if you take any link, you'll see here, friends, the green one link you'll see, it is connected with the two joints, correct? See here, a link has at least two nodes, correct? Then you'll see this, friends, if the link has two nodes, it is simplest case known as a binary link. Sometimes the link has 3 nodes or 4 nodes, commonly seen in parallel manipulator or a table linkages, or what I will call necklace kinematic joints, closed type. See here, these are called a binary links. Binary links are used in serial manipulator. This ternary link is only one link, please remember some, but the 3 joints are there. This is only one link, rigid one it is. But here you will attach the 4 joints, quaternary link it is. How many nodes are there? 4 nodes here. Generally, they are used in the hexapod platforms or steward platforms. Now we are not dealing with the steward platform, correct? Top plate, bottom plate, you will monitor it using all these type of prismatic joints or a rotary joints or whatever it is. You'll see the flight simulators. You have seen no flight simulators, or what we will call, it is a closed type hexapod or steward platforms. In the whole robotics class today is only on the serial manipulator, meaning I am using the binary link. I am using only the binary link. So the connection between the two are more links at their nodes, which allows some potential motion between the connecting links, linear motion or a rotary motion. Please note, the joints in the robotics are drive through either electric motors. Please remember, friends, these are called as actuators. Electric motors, hydraulic cylinders or motors, both are there. Hydraulic motor is also there. Prismatic cylinders are pneumatic motors. Artificial muscles. Yesterday I shown you some of the parallel manipulator drive through the SMA wires. Okay, these are called artificial muscles. Please remember, friends, links are joined through the actuator, what I will call the electric motors or a hydraulic cylinder or a motor or pneumatic or artificial muscles. Then what is the duty of actuator? Actuator will convert one form of energy into another form of energy. Please remember, electric motors will give only rotational motion. Hydraulic cylinder, like a prismatic, in and out. But hydraulic motor, again, it is a rotation. Pneumatic cylinder, again, in and out. Motor is rotation. Similarly, you will use for artificial muscles. When this motion has a predetermined path, irrespective of applied forces, the joint is said to be kinematic pair. Meaning cylinders will give only linear motion, while motors will give only rotary motion. It is called kinematic pair, as I have told you in the previous slides. A joint can either have a controlled or a free motion. Controlled joints are what I will call actuators provide a power to drive the links in a desired way. Free motion means joint changes its status according to the position of the other links. Now we'll see how to number the joints. In kinematics, while calculating the what I will call DH parameter, numbering the joints and links are very important. Very quickly, you will see this. I am showing you here the one-to-one relation. All you have to do like this, base it is arm, wrist, end effector is last. You'll see here also same way. Always you will start, friends, numbering the links and joint from the base. From the base, it is a link 0, L0, joint 0, arrested in all degree of freedom. Then next link is represented as L1. Next link is called L2. Like this, it goes on towards the end effector. Please remember, friends, I am starting from the base. I am moving towards the end effector. Similarly, joint J0, J1. Here also you'll give if you want. J0 is like this. J1, J2 like this. You will grow. Right? This J1, J2, J3 are whether you are using the revolute joint or a prismatic joint or whatever it may be, whatever. But you will see, friends, next one I am marked here, NAO, very, very important. Here what you will call the end effector, I am attaching this frame NOA, which is orthogonal. Meaning what is this? A means approach. Always it is away from the two-handed frame. Then O means sphere, two-handed hands will move like this. It is called orientation. The normal, if you will fix the A and O, N is automatic because it is a orthogonal in nature. I'll show you later. This NOA are normal vectors, orientation vector, and approach vector. What is approach vector? If it is arm is like this, it is away. It is away. You'll see here away. Approach. O means opening and closing of the gripper. Orientation vector. Then N means what? Normal to A and O. Each are represented along the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. That's why the AX, AY, AZ, NX, NY, NZ, OX, OY, OZ. I'll tell you how it is representing later. Now you'll remember NY is called directional cosines it is. These are called as directional cosines. As because, please remember friends, this method is known as I'm determining NOA, meaning it is a directional cosines. Some people are using the Euler angle method, theta, pi, psi. Theta, pi, psi is called Euler angle representation. That is different. We don't bother about now. Now, these NOA, where I am attaching to the end effector end, these are known as directional cosines. They are represented in the matrix form. I'll show you later. Now, orientation, as I have told you, I will tell you. Orientation of a rigid body with respect to the fixed frame can be described in different ways. As I have told you, one is directional cosine representation. Another one is a Euler angle representation. Each one has its own advantages and disadvantages. But most of the colleges, they are teaching the directional cosines, but Euler angle in IIT Madras, we are teaching both method to represent the orientation of the frames. Each one has its own, for example, if necessary, what they will do, one may switch from one to other representation during the robot motion control to avoid the former limitations. You'll see now, friends, how the frames are represented. How many types of frames are there? Two frames. One is a reference frame. Reference frame is always attached to the ground. And object frame, it is attached to object, meaning nodes. Next one, node 1, node 2, node 3 are there, and there it is. Let us will begin. The frame, if it is located in the origin, how they will represent. You'll see this figure, friends. The frame F, how they are representing, you'll see. The frame, open brace, close brace. A frame F centered at the origin is called a reference frame. is represented by three mutual perpendicular vectors: normal vector, orientation vector, approach vector. NOA, as I have told you, each frame is having NOA. This is the vector quantity, meaning direction is there and quantity is there. Now you'll see, your direction may be anything. Now I'm attaching like this. No need to worry about the how it is oriented. Each of these vector is represented by three components. Along x-axis, you'll represent nx, ox, ax. Similarly, along y direction, ny, oy, ay. And another one is z direction, nz, oz, az. These are called directional cosines and they are represented in the matrix forms. Remember, friends, how it is representing. F frame is representing like this here: nx, ny, nz, ox, oy, oz, ax, ay, az. All are a vector quantities. Each frame consists of 3 by 3 matrix like this. Frame is nothing but NOA. If you expand in x direction, y direction, z direction, nx, ny, nz, ox, oy, oz, like this it will go. If the frame is not in the origin, it is somewhere else away, then you have to define what is distance. You have to specify how much it is along the x dx, how much along y dy, how much along z dz. Correct? Now how to represent? You will see this frame now. The frame F is away from d units from the xyz. Then what is required? How to define this, friends? You will see now here. This can be represented here: nx, ny, nz 0, ox, oy, oz 0, ax, ay, az 0, dx, dy, dz 1. What is this? I will tell you, friends. This is a 4 by 4 matrix. It is known as homogeneous transformation matrix. Please remember, this is a very, very important. Each frame consists of 4 by 4 matrix. All we are representing in 4 by 4 matrix. That's why it is 0, 0, 1. 1 means the full scale it is. You want to make half scale, meaning half, you'll put it 0.5, then you will reduce to all 0.5. This is the scaling matrix. 0, 0, 1, what I am telling you. If it is away from the origin, meaning again, for example, one more joint it is. This is one joint. This is the base joint and one more joint is there. How to define? How much it is from the x, how much it from the y, how much it is along the z. You have to represent like this. This is a 4 by 4 matrix, which is a homogeneous transformation matrix, is always a square matrix, used to calculate the inverse and multiplication of the matrix, as because the order of the matrix should be same. Why I am representing like this 4 by 4 means now onwards, multiplication of the matrix rank should be same. It is 4 by 4 only. One is 3 by 3, another is 2 by 2, another is 3 by 3, not possible, friends. That's why all you will represent, even though quantity is not there. For example, only you moved along the x-axis, you will represent dx equal to 5 unit. Other you will put it 0, 0, nothing will happen. If only you are moving z direction 5 unit, you will put it 0, 0, 5, like this. But your representation is always a 4 by 4 matrix. Remember this. Translation of the frame. Now what I am doing now here, see, frame 1 and frame 2 are there. I moved this frame next d unit. Same way dx, dy, dz, you will represent like this, same. Now I moved one more frame b, dx, dy, dz, you will represent like this, same. Similarly, what I have told you. Correct? Next is very important is coordinate frames of two-fingered hand, meaning wrist motion, what is the end, how they are represented. You'll see, friends, as I have already told you in the previous slide, consider the two-fingered hand as shown in the figure. You use your hand like this. You'll see only wrist level. You will use only 2 hands as I am showing you. Then you'll attach this. What is a approach direction? Approach direction can be first identified along z axis. That's why it is called z, away from the always away from the end effector. It is a Z. Then the orientation O is open and close. You'll see, friends, my hand, open and close. It is what we'll call orientation. Y, when the figure is y-axis. Perpendicular to this is a normal. Then you'll remember, friends, when I'm fixing this frame to the end effector, only will fix Z and Y. Other is automatically fixed. You don't need to do all these things because all X, Y, Z are orthogonal in nature. Now I will teach you the orientation, how they are representing in the 2D plane and 3D plane. Consider the two-handed finger, same here, P is there, no P. In the 2D plane is representing P is like this. P is XY. In the 2D plane is the P point is X distance away from along the X and the Y distance like here up. Then the radial distance is R. I am taking P is here in this point. How to define P here? How much it is from the X, how much it is from the Y. Then it is a radius. Let us understand this, how I am moving this in the 2D. Now, the coordinates of the P, triangle is there, friends. Please remember the coordinates of the point P is X, Y. What are the point? It is the coordinates. In polar coordinates are given by what is this X? This X, you will take this is the triangle. It is a pi, it is, angle is pi. X equal to how much? R cos pi. Similarly, this is Y equal to R sin pi. You know already trigonometry this. What I did, I'm calculated how much it is X in polar coordinate, how much Y in the polar coordinate. I calculated here. Next, as the point P is rotated anti-clockwise, now I'll move this by theta, Now I'll push this again to, I will rotate this. Then what happens, friends? I moved like this. This P point is moved here. Then I want to calculate the remaining things. Now, if I'll do this, the new coordinates are the X dash. How to calculate X dash? Take this, friends, this triangle now. Take this X dash equal to R cos pi plus theta, because this triangle, whole angle is pi plus theta. Meaning if you'll expand this, R cos pi plus theta, R cos pi cos theta minus R sin pi sin theta. You know already this cos pi plus theta, how to do it. Now you'll see, friends, here, this X dash equal to R cos pi, top you will see R cos pi is nothing but X. I am putting here S cos theta. Then here also R sin pi is replaced by Y here. Y. What I will get? X dash equal to X cos theta minus Y sin theta. Similarly, I will get the Y coordinate, Y dash. I will get in Y dash in this triangle. Y dash equal to what? R sin pi plus theta. R sin pi plus theta, how to expand? R cos pi sin theta plus R sin pi cos theta. You know already how to expand the sin pi plus theta. Now I will get the Y dash. Again, I will put the R cos pi is X. After putting the X and Y, what I am getting in the first before rotation, Y dash equal to X sin theta plus Y cos theta. Meaning if you represent in the matrix form, vertical forms, you will represent in the horizontal also or vertical also. Now I am representing the P dash point, which is rotated from the original point to here. How to represent points? P, X, Y, cos theta minus sin theta. Look here how I am writing. You'll see the X dash. What is X dash? Cos theta minus is there, you'll see minus sin theta. Next, you'll see Y dash. What is that? Sin theta plus cos theta. Understand this. The rotation of the end effector point P in the XY plane. If you will do it in the three-dimensional, very complicated, friends. If you do this 3D rotation, now previously you understood how I did in the 2D plane, XY plane. Now you have to rotate this point along X, along Y, along Z. Then what happens? I will get the 3 by 3 matrix. But very quickly I will show you, This is one thing what you have to remember. Now I'm showing you how to write the cos theta, sin theta in the identity matrix I. I am writing here. Please remember, friends, this is identity matrix. You remember this 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1. Meaning you'll remember, friends, what it will show. It will show the orientation as well as the translation. You'll see, friends, this is there, no? See here, this is a 3 by 3 matrix, is a rotation. And this is there, no? It is what I will call dx, dy, dz. Previously, what you are seeing, it is a translation. Keeping in mind that there is a orientation matrix, this is a positional matrix. This, what I am showing you here is, now we have to write the rotation about x in the 3D plane. 3D means x, y, z coordinates. If I will rotate the point in the y direction alone, how to write the matrix? If I will rotate the point in the z direction, how to write? Only thing where it will change, friends, you will see here cos theta, sin theta will change here and not here, because it is a positional matrix. Positional matrix means the point how far it is from the x, y, z. But what is this? How it is oriented? It is a minor axis, as I have told you. I will have to remember, I will tell you. Look here. This is called a rotation about x. This is rotation about y, rotation about z. Only it is a combination of what you derived previously, cos theta, sin theta alone. But how to remember this, friends? That is a very important. How you are teaching to student. Because, calculating how I did previously, it is not so easy in the 3D plane. But how to remember this? Can you please think? Now I'll tell you very quick to remember whether it is rotating in x direction, rotating in y direction, or rotating in z direction. In the sleeping also you are writing the 3-dimensional matrix. How to remember? You'll see here, friends, when I am writing the axis, rotation about x, you'll first axis you will mark like this. If here rotation about y, you cancel the y here, and here. Z means third one, third axis you will close. Immediately you will close. What direction you are writing? No need to worry. Then only left out is here you will see filling this in x, filling this in y, because rotation matrix is here only, no? Filling this here. Then also you'll remember, friends, always diagonal elements are cos thetas. Diagonal terms are cos theta. Here see, c theta, c theta, c theta, c theta, c theta, c theta. Remember, very easy. All diagonal terms are the cos thetas. In the orientation matrix position, orientation matrix position is here. You will see cos theta, cos theta. Write it top, down, cos theta, cos theta. Then only thing is how I will write plus sign and minus sign. Very simple it is. You'll remember sign of the off diagonal. Off diagonal means either it is a top or a down, are represented minus 1 to the power of k. Minus 1 to the power of k means whether you are assigning for the x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis. For example, I am going to whether I will write plus or minus here. Correct? Both are diagonal terms are sin thetas only. If I put minus 1 to x means 1. Minus 1 to the power of minus 1 minus. That's why top will come minus sin theta. Down will come plus sin theta. Similarly, you will see here 2, no? Y means 2. Then minus 1 to the power of 2 plus. That's why I will get sin theta plus here minus sin theta. Again, 3 means z is the third axis. Minus 1 to the power of 3 is again minus. That's why I will get it here minus sin theta. Down one I will get positive sin theta. This is very, very easy, friends. Only where it will change? Only it will change in the orientation matrix. Here last row and last column doesn't change, remains same. Shall I repeat once again? I will show you how to remember. You will first what you will do, don't do anything. You write the identity matrix, same identity matrix you will write. Then what you will do, all diagonal terms are the cos theta. As I have told you, first you will remove the, if I am writing x-axis, you will move first row and first column. Then y means second row and second column you will delete. Delete means you will draw the axis. Then third, z means third row and third column will write. Don't write anything here, cos theta and sin theta. Then left out is here, correct? You'll see this orientation matrix here, left out is here. Then what you will do? Term all the diagonal elements are cos thetas. You will write the cos theta. C theta means cos theta. Then up and down you will decide based on x-axis means -1 to the power of k means 1 x-axis, y means -1 to the power of 2, z means -1 to the power of 3. That will decide whether you will write off the diagonal minus sin theta or plus sin theta. Okay, this is very easy. You remember this, friends, because this is I am using everywhere. Then very important thing is, as you know, the transformation and the mapping. What is this transformation and mapping? The matrix which describes the relative displacement of frame B from another frame R is known as transformation matrix, correct? If you take the two frame A and frame B, then I will, this frame B, sometimes I will displace, sometimes I will rotate. Then the whole thing is known as transformation matrix. How it will be done? Changing the description of point in space from one frame to another frame is called a mapping. The second frame, correct? No, second frame is generated from the first frame through the various operations. What are those? It may be rotated with respect to the first frame, may be rotated, correct? Then what happens? The orientation will change, or it may be moved away from the first frame, meaning what happens here? Only translational matrix. How much you moved along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Second frame. Or sometimes what I am doing, I am rotating and I am translating. Both metrics will come into picture. Please note, the point remains the same, but its description changes during the mapping process. This process in general is called transformation. What is a transformation? Transformation may consist of either only translation or a rotation or translation based on how the sequence of operation you are performing in the robotics. Now we'll see, friends, what is this forward and inverse kinematics. Jyotishri?
Sir, everything is correct, sir.
Yeah, going smoothly. Okay.
Sir,
now, see, friends, the forward and inverse kinematic, how to do. Now, we'll see the forward kinematics. In order to program the tool motion, we must first formulate the relationship between the joint variables. Two joint variables are there, remember, friends, and position and orientation of the tool, how it is. Forward kinematics is known as direct kinematics also. You'll remember, friends, what it is. Forward kinematics is an angle to position, meaning what? I know the joint angle and the link length. I want to find out the position of the point, end effector. Position means X, Y, Z. I want to know the end effector position. I know the angles of each joint. I know what is the angle. First joint is rotated by 30. Third joint is rotated by 25. Then you tell me what is the X, Y, Z. That is called forward kinematics. Angle to position, it is called direct kinematics, which is very easy. What we are given now, link length is known because you can't change this link length for any robot. It is always a constant link length. While while selecting the work volume, all this thing, you'll decide how much link length because it is a rigid body. It is given in the problem. Then angle to joint. That's why look here. Angles are given here. Forward kinematics. What are the things they are given? Length of the link and angles of all the joints. Theta 1, how much it is rotated. Theta 2, how much it is rotated. Until end, based on how many joints you are using. What to find? Find out the position. What I am doing? Position of the end effector, last joint. What is its XYZ coordinate? It is called a forward kinematics. Forward kinematics means what, friends? Angles to position. Angles are given, link lengths are given. Find out the XYZ position. It is a direct kinematics. Inverse kinematics means opposite. Opposite means what? Position to angle. See here, friends. I am giving the position of the end effector. It is there X, Y, Z, 10, 20, 30. Then what you will do? You will find out what is the angle to get this 10, 20, 30. That's why it is the position to angles, inverse kinematics. What we are given? Link length. Again, they are given as usual. And they are given position of the some point on the robot. X, Y, Z coordinates are given. What to do? You have to find out joint angles. Theta 1, theta 2, whatever it is needed to obtain that. Correct? Any doubts now? Forward kinematics, inverse kinematics, very easy. Assuming that I made very simple, and even though I am not there, I made the PPT such a way that you are understanding. Forward kinematics, what are the things they are given? Link parameter, link length, link twist, all are fixed parameter given in the problem, and joint angles are given in the forward of kinematics. What you will find out? You will find out the position of the end effector. But in inverse kinematic, what you have to do? The position of the end effector is given. How, when it is, where it is. Then the link parameters are given. What you have to find out? You have to find out the joint angles. You have to find out joint angles. This is called forward kinematics, inverse kinematics. In forward kinematics, I want to find the position of the end effector. In the inverse kinematic, I want to find out the joint angles. Remember, link parameters are constant. Next, very quickly we'll go because another 15 minutes is there. The Dinavith-Hartenberg representation to define the 4 kinematic parameters, 2 link, 2 joint. Very easy, friends. You know, if you practice this, it is very easy because look here, 3 parameters are given fixed in the examination. Only you have to find out only 1 parameter out of 4. Remember, that is very easy. 2 link parameter, 2 joint parameter. 2 link parameter means link length and link twist is fixed given in the problem. Joint means you have to only 1 parameter you have to decide. If it is a prismatic, it is a linear. If it is a rotary, rotation, theta. Other is fixed. Meaning, you'll remember, friends, in Dinavith-Hartenberg representation, you have to find out 4 kinematic parameter, 2 link parameter, 2 joint parameter. How to find out, we'll see. Before understanding this, the right-handed coordinate system for the frame assignment is very important. You use your right hand, friends. Right hand like this, you will hold orthogonal to each other. You will hold like this. Then you will use this, my figure. Like this, I am holding, correct? See here, this is the palm, your palm it is. Making very simple to you. The palm is having the thumb, correct? Middle finger and index finger, correct? Sorry, I think it is correct. This is middle finger and this is index finger. Okay, you'll see it that. Okay, middle finger and index. Middle finger is this. I think it should come here. Correct. This will go here. No problem. What is z-axis? The z-axis is always the joint axis, friends. If it is a prismatic, if prismatic is moving like this, it is a z-axis. Remember, always the joint axis is a z-axis. Then x you will fix. If you will fix z, then x. X is aligned with the outgoing limb. What is this? I will tell you. If you will fix the z and x for each frame, y is automatically fixed. No significance because it is a orthogonal in nature. I am not using this y anytime. You will see, friends, now here in this sketch you will see the one 3D model is there. Now you will see this. Now what is this? You will see I am fixing the x and y. Here you will see z is perpendicular to the paper. Here perpendicular to the screen. Why? Because it is moving up and down. It will rotate moving up and down. Correct? Axis direction is perpendicular. Z1 is perpendicular. That's why I am writing Z1. Then Z2 will fix. Z2 is moving up and down like this. It will revolve. It is a horizontal. Z2 is a horizontal. When I am fixing this joint and this joint, Z1 and Z2, automatically X1 is fixed. X1 is always the outgoing link, meaning perpendicular to the Z1 and Z2 is a X1. Remember, always you will move towards the end effector. It should not come down. Down also no problem, but will move up because end effector is here. Then you'll see, friends, Z is here. Then one more Z3 is like this, perpendicular to this. Then you will fix the X2, meaning it will goes on fixing the each joint is you have to fix first Z. Z means how, in which direction it is rotating, it is a Z. Then X1 is what it is, perpendicular to the Z1 and Z2 is a X1. That's why I'm telling. X1 is aligned with the outgoing limb, common normal between the two joint axes, Zi minus 1 or Zi. Zi minus 1 means previous joint is Z1. Next joint, Z2. That's why I'm telling Zi minus 1 is a previous joint. Next joint is Zi. Or next one is Zi and Zi plus 1. This joint or next joint. This will goes on continuing, friends. Right-handed coordinate frames. Let us will see now. I'm giving one link. You'll see, friends, this is called one link. Each link, it is a what we call binary link having two joints. You have to fix the two joints. Another one will come like this. It will goes on. But you'll see the twist is there. Whole link, rigid body it is. What I'm showing here is a rigid body. Fixing the joint axis, as I have told you, I'm putting this axis I, or a Zi, correct, along this, because joint will move up and down like this. One more link will come here. One more link will come here. It is a axis is this, correct? Moving or rotating, whatever it is. It is, I marked here axis I. Why I marked here, you'll see. It is a joint axis. Similarly, this joint axis is previous joint. That's why I'm writing Zi minus 1 or axis I minus 1. This is, if you want, you'll call 1, 2 also. For easy understanding, what I'm doing here, I'm doing here the Zi is the previous joint is Zi minus 1. Then you will see anywhere you will fix on this axis. I marked here Zi. You'll see down red color is the Zi, and here Zi minus 1. This is a Zi. Xi minus 1, how it is? Always a common normal to Zi and Zi minus 1 is Xi. But how to fix here, friends? To fix this, I want to know the next joint where it is. It is not there. That's why I not fixed here. If I am giving one more link, see here, one more link is there. I am possible to fix. Where is my Xi minus 1? Whatever it is, Xi. You'll see, friends, as usual, axis. This is a major Zi minus 1, Zi plus 1, next link. If for this, you'll see the coordinate frame is this. Red color is the coordinate frame. This is Zi. Xi is common normal to Z axis of first joint and this joint. Then common normal to this axis and this axis is Xi. Why you don't bother? Why is orthogonal in nature? It is not used in the kinematic parameters. Okay, let us will see this BH notation very neatly. The Dinawith-Hartenberg proposed a systematic and generalized approach of utilizing the matrix algebra to describe and represent the spatial geometry of the link robot arm with respect to the fixed reference frame. They defined the two link parameter, two joint parameter. In DH representation, one can assign the reference frame at each joint and define the transformation matrix relating the two successive frames, which is a homogeneous transformation matrix. Let us will begin the joint parameter. The relative position and orientation of the two successive links. Two successive links means the previous links I am taking as a link I minus 1. And next link is link I. Link I is a main link. Is the previous joint is link I minus 1. Can be specified by the two joint parameter. Joint angle and a joint distance. The joint parameters, what are the joint parameters? Joint angle and a joint distance. They are defined with two links. If you want to understand the joint parameter, joint distance and what we will call joint angle and joint distance, you require the two links. Two links, what I'm using? Link I and link I minus 1, previous one. About the ZI, you have to define these parameter about the ZI minus 1. How it is, I will tell you, no need to worry. So we need two links and one joint to define the joint parameters. How it is, you'll see now. Consider now I am using the joint I, meaning joint is connecting the two links. Next link is link I. This is link I minus 1. See here, what I did, friends, here, I drawn the link, two links. One link is called link I, and another link is previous link I minus 1 I am using. It is these two links are connected with the joint. Joint rotation is, or whatever it is, joint axis is ZI minus 1. Please understand this, ZI minus 1. Then how to define the joint parameter, joint angle and joint distance, we'll see. The parameter associated with the joint I is 2, theta I and di. They are defined with ZI minus 1 in the figure, which is aligned with joint I. Let us will see joint angle. How to define the joint angle? How to find out the joint angle, friends? Is the rotation of axis xi minus 1 about z. All you have to define about the zi minus 1 only. Remember, rotate this xi minus 1 about zi minus 1 needed to make xi minus 1 parallel to the xi. What I will do, friends, I will move this by this theta. It is known as joint angle. You'll move it in the anti-clockwise direction only. You have to move it in the particular direction. Now I moved the joint angle. How to define, how it will rotate, how to find out the joint angle. I'm moving the xi minus 1 about zi minus 1 such that this xi minus 1 is parallel to the xi. It is called a joint angle theta. Then what is a joint distance, friends? Joint distance is you move this link along the zi minus 1. What I am doing here, I am moving this link along the z. It will intersect at this point. It is called a joint distance. Joint distance is the translation of xi minus 1 along zi needed to make xi minus 1 will intersect at the xi. It is known as joint distance. Joint distance means how much I will move the link I away, like this, prismatic joint. Then if it is a rotary joint, what is that? How much I will rotate this link I minus 1 to make link I minus 1 is parallel to link I. Please understand this. That's why I'm telling you this. We are teaching you 2-3 times in the class. This is joint parameters. So theta I is the, what is a theta I here? How to define the joint angle? Theta I is the rotation about joint I or zi minus 1 until it is link is parallel to the next link I. Di means what? I'm moving this link I above such that this xi minus 1 axis intersect the xi. When it will intersect, no, that is called joint distance. Please remember, friends, either theta is there or a joint distance is there in the prismatic and rotary joints. For each joint, as I have told you, revolute joint or a prismatic joint, it always is the case that one of these two parameters is fixed and other is variable. For example, you will see in the variability depends upon the revolute joint. Revolute joint, what is variable? Theta is variable. Revolute joint, theta 10 degree, 20 degree will rotate any, but you can't move. You can't move the revolute joint, meaning di is fixed. Similarly, in the prismatic joint, you have to move the joint up and down, but you can't rotate. That's why it is called prismatic joint. Only 1 degree of freedom. You please remember, friends, out of 4 parameter, joint parameter and the link parameter, the only variable parameter is theta or P. Theta means rotary, D is fixed in that. If it is prismatic means only movement is possible, rotation is not possible. You have to find out. Other link parameter, 2 link parameters are there. What you will call the link length and a link twist, which is fixed when I am selecting the particular links. How to find out, I'll tell you in the next slide. Jyoti Shreed is going smoothly. Jyoti?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going, sir.
It's going
No problem.
How much you are understanding, I don't know, but physical presence is required to explain this. If I am in front of you, it is very easy, but I'll try to understand.
Okay.
The link parameters are link length, AI minus 1, A1, A2 also will give, but why I am giving is too easy to understand. The link parameters are link length, AI minus 1, link twist, alpha I minus 1. You'll see, friends, how I defined the joint parameter. To define the joint parameter, 1 joint and 2 links are required. Now here 2 joints are required. Here they are defined with 2 joints. 2 joint axes I am taking as a joint I minus 1 and joint I, but you will define about xi minus 1. But the joint parameter, how I defined, I took the 2 links, link 1 and link 2, defined about z. But now here how I am defining, I am taking 2 joints and defining along the x. Remember, all are same, but you have to 2-3 times you have to refresh. We need the 2 joint axes and 1 link to define the link parameter. Let us will see the link, how to do it. This thing. Refer to one I am taking link is a link I minus 1. See, any shape, it is any shape. I am taken the rigid body link I minus 1. For this, the assuming that the joint axis is zi minus 1 and zi. This is based on how it is rotating. But now I am assuming that zi minus 1 and zi like this. And as I already told you, along the link length, you have to mark xi minus 1. Assume to be next link is here, xi. You remember what I am fixing now? Zi and xi I am fixing. Zi and xi is fixing. Why is no need? I have shown here, but no need. Because if you 2 will fix, other is orthonormal. The main significance in the DH parameter is z and x. If you fix z and x for each node like this, then your 50% of work is over. Also, you'll remember all the other parameters are fixed in the examination. Only one parameter, link length and a link distance. Correct? The parameter associated with the link I are defined with respect to xi minus 1, as I have told you, which is common normal between the zi minus 1 and z. Xi is always a common normal. X is always a common normal to the joint axis. As soon as an examination, what you will do? First, you will fix the joint axis z. Joint axis is along the how the joint is rotating, how the joint is moving. Fix the z. After fixing all z to all joint, then you will draw the common normal. Common normal is the normal to the axis zi minus 1 and z. If you want to put to the z1, what you will do? The x1 is a common normal to z1 and z2. Then how to fix the x2? The common normal between the z2 and z3, like this. That's why I'm telling. That's why I'm telling the what I'm taking this thing zi minus 1 and zi I am taking. The link length. What is the link length, friends? This you will see. Already you know it by seeing this figure you are telling. This is called distance between the 2 joints is called link length. But how to define? That is very important. No, the link length. This is represented as ai minus 1 because link I am taken I minus 1 I taken. No, link I minus 1 I am taken. That's why I'm taking link length is ai minus 1. How to define? I will move this. Please see, friends. I'm moving the zi minus 1 along the x-axis, xi minus 1, until it intersects the zi. It is known as link length. Link length means distance between the 2 joints. How to find out? move the Zi minus 1 along the Xi minus 1 until it intersects the Z axis. It is a link length. Then what is the twist? Link twist. Look here, this is link length. How I did. I moved, what I did here, friends, you see in this figure, I moved along the Xi minus 1. I moved this Zi slowly until it will intersect this Z axis. It is called link length Ai minus 1. Then link twist. How to define link twist? You'll see, friends, read this. Is the rotation of Zi minus 1 about Xi minus 1 needed to make the Zi minus 1 parallel with the Zi. Meaning what I will do? I will rotate this, friends. See here. What is a twist angle? It is a link twist is defined as move this, rotate Zi minus 1 until it will parallel to the Zi, like this. See, friends, how I moved. Zi minus 1 I moved. Zi minus 1 I moved by alpha I minus 1. Slowly I moved until this Zi minus 1 and Zi are parallel. This alpha minus 1 is a what we will call link twist. Link length and link twist are fixed while selecting the particular geometry of the link in robotics. Okay, these are fixed parameters. Assuming that, so the link parameter Ai minus 1 and alpha always a constant and are specified as a part of the mechanical design. For an industrial robot, the link twist angle is usually taken as pi by 2 radians. Sometimes the axis of the joint I and I plus 1 intersect, in which case the link length is 0. Links of 0 length occurs, for example, in robotics with spherical wrist, where the last entry axis intersect. More generally, robots can be designed to have many of the constant parameter particularly equal to 0. Constant parameters are there, correct? In which case they are referred as kinematically simple manipulators. For an n-axis robotic manipulator, the 4 n parameters constitute the minimal set needed to specify the kinematic configuration of the robot. Let us see this kinematic parameters. For each axis, 3 parameters are fixed. 1 parameter alone varying, correct? As I already told. If we are using the prismatic joint, moving up and down, meaning D is variable, theta is constant. If you are using the revolute joint, theta is variable, D is constant. This is indicated in the table. You'll see here the arm parameter, 2 link parameter and a 2 joint parameter. How to define? You'll see if it is the revolute joint, the joint angle theta is variable. All other are fixed. If it is a prismatic joint, joint distance is fixed, link length is fixed, link twist is fixed. If it is a prismatic joint, what is variable? Prismatic means linear joint. Joint distance is variable. Others are fixed. Please remember this, friends. Meaning here, the very, very important is mapping, which is a challenging in the DH parameters. Other things are same, as I told you, SCARA robot and rectangular robots, how thetas are taken into account. Now this is same, it is, theta is the angle between, this also you have to practice. Theta is the angle between the xi minus 1 to xi measured about z. B is also the distance between the xi minus 1 to xi measured along the z. Always theta is measured about z axis. Then AI is measured about x axis, as I have told you, correct? Now we'll see some simple, the R matrix, how to map it very quickly. So time is up. Manjunath?
Yes, sir. Time is up, but no problems. I can continue up to another 5 to 10 minutes. No problem.
5 to 10, because last mapping I will finish. What is the
Yes,
R
sir.
matrix? You will see. What I am doing now is, friends, you have to map from the frame I to I minus 1 Then, from frame I plus 1 to I, then you will do all you have to map it. What is this map means? You will see here what I am doing. Last frame to base frame you have to map, or a base frame to last frame you will do, whatever you want. The forward solution is obtained through the homogeneous transformation matrix, where the entries in the matrix will the function of joint coordinate variable, meaning theta and di, link parameter. All are there in the matrix, correct? The overall transformation matrix is what you will call it is a composite coordinate transformation matrix, or what you will call maps. How to do it? I'll tell you. There are the 4 steps are there to map the any 2 frames. The 2 frames, how to map it, I'll show you in the R matrix. See here. All the frames are fixed as usual. Now you'll see, friends, you'll see this one you'll see. Where I am moving the cursor, this is the orientation of the frame of the joint ZI. Here it is a previous joint ZI minus 1. How it is oriented, you'll see. Red color, you'll see how it is oriented and how this is oriented. What I am doing in R matrix, I want to bring this down, rotate. Correct? How I will do first? Now I will do the so many rotation and the translation to bring this ZI on the ZI minus 1, map it. You have to bring it. How to do it? We'll see. What I am doing in the R matrix, mapping I. I means I frame. This is the frame I to frame I minus 1. This frame. How to do it? Let us will see. What I will do first. First, I am rotating this. I am doing this, bringing. Please remember, friends, I am bringing this where I am moving the cursor, this axis over this. It is called a mapping. That is R matrix. How I will do? Rotate the frame I. Frame means X, Y, Z. What I am telling. This is what I will call. This is Xi and Zi. Here is the Xi minus 1 and Zi. I am making. Rotate the frame I about Z by theta. How I will do? I am rotating. Here, by small angle, I am rotated this first. First, I am rotated the frame ZI about Z, making this parallel. These two are parallel. That's why I am rotated about theta. Then this rotational matrix about Z is represented like this. You already know this matrix. This is the matrix corresponding to Z rotation along. Identity matrix, how to draw, already. This, then cos theta, minus sin theta. You have to remember this. Then what I will do? Now, what I will do after rotating this, I am moving this frame down by d distance. Translate the frame I along the ZI. I will move slowly this down by di distance. Just see, I moved now. See, friends, I moved the frame I here now. Now what I will do next, friends, I move along this, this matrix is represented like this. See, T2 is I am rotated along the Z by di distance. That's why 0, 0, di. After moving this frame, how I will bring here? Move along the link length, correct? Again, I will move this along the link length back. Link length is AI, correct? What I will do? Again, I will translate along the Xi minus 1, Xi axis by AI. Again, I am translating T3 equal to what? T3 is, see here, along the Xi mode, AI minus 1. Now we'll see, friends, it is rotated. Then I will rotate it by the angle alpha I minus 1 to match this. What I will do? Rotate I about Xi minus 1 by alpha I. Alpha I is a twist angle. What is along the X will move. What is a matrix? Along the X matrix is this. Now, how to get the R matrix? Our overall transformation matrix is very simple, friends. What you will do? I rotate it, I translate it along d distance, translated along the AI, rotated. Meaning you will represent this as a composite transformation matrix. Overall transformation matrix, friends. This is whatever a matrix I am written like this. Then how to get to the final? You will multiply it by first two. How to multiply? First row, first column, first element. First row, second column, second element. First row, third column, third element. First row, the fourth column, fourth element. You will multiply these two, you will get this. Then again you will do multiply by these two, you will get this matrix. Again these two you will multiply, you will get this. This is what it is. I'm mapping the frame I minus 1 to I. How to represent, you will see. Mapping the I minus 1 to the base. If I'll ask you to, this is finally I will get like this. This is an orientation matrix and this is a positional matrix. Meaning you will see when I will map, what it will do, I am mapping the I minus 1 to I. This is a matrix. This is a matrix. This is a homogeneous transformation matrix, describes the position and orientation of I frame relative to I minus 1 and completely defined by the DH parameter. You'll see in this whole matrix, what are the things are there? Cos theta, sin theta, and alpha is there, AI is there. Apart from that, nothing is there in the matrix, friends. This is what we will call forward solution. How to get the, if I am asking you to map the base to I means, again you will do the same thing. You know what you will do? If I am mapping the I minus 1 to frame I means, you will rotate by alpha, then you will move along the length, then you will move up and then rotate. Otherwise, what you will take the inverse of the given matrix. You will mug the, students are mugging this, mug this, or else you will derive in examination. Then what they will do, they will take the inverse of this. Then it is a mapping to the I to I minus 1. What is this? This is, look here, this is mapping I minus 1 to I. If you want to get Ti to Ti minus 1, how to do? Take the inverse of this. How to take inverse of this? This is a R 3 by 3 matrix. This is a P is a positional matrix 3 by 1. What you will do? This is inverse of A is how to take R transpose you will take, transpose of this you will take, then minus R transpose into this. You will do, you will get very quickly. R transpose means changing the rows to column. Look here, I am changing the rows to column. R transpose. Then the next one is minus R transpose into P. Multiplied by these two matrix, I will get this. Now what you will do? After doing all the calculations, you substitute here. What matrix is there? No, same thing it is. Now what it is doing? It is mapping from the I minus 1 to I. Previously what I did? I to I minus 1. You will map anywhere you have to map. Correct? Or else as usual, the angular method, as I have told, same matrix you have to map. Correct? Thank you very much. Already I taken 15 minutes. Dhruv Kumar?
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. Actually, it's a beautiful session. So time, I don't know how the time gone.
No.
So that is the thing.
Dhruv Kumar, what I am telling is, I require more time, I think. Kinematics itself, if I am with you people, very easy it is. But here, teaching all in 1.5 hours, very difficult. You are feeling, I think, students are feeling. But only in our class, at DH parameter, we are teaching 2-3 days. That is easy. But here, very difficult. Also, I'm physically not present. No, if it is board you will give, I will teach very nicely. It will reach to your heart. But now only moving action doesn't matter. Okay. But let the participants will understand these things are there in exam in the kinematics. Kinematics means R matrix is there. Kinematic chain is there. Kinematic pair is there. Prismatic joint is there. If they know, it is very easy. Correct, Dhruv Kumar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Here, virtual. There's a difference between virtual and real things. Sir. Yes, sir.
All teachers, because they are having patience to sit. No, if you ask me to other side, I will not listen. But you people are saying very good. I am very happy. But only thing is, I'm trying my level best to explain to you. Extremely sorry if I will not reach to you, because it is mathematics. I want to do it in board. Very good it is. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Definitely, it is a very good session, sir. So it's very informative session. So many participants are messaging in the chat box that it's a very nice information, very lot of information you are giving, and also they are asking your PPT also, sir. So please share that yesterday's and today's PPTs to mail, sir. That I will share the participants so that it will help them Okay. And also we are very thankful from our Government Polytechnic Harpanhalli principal and staff are very thankful to you, sir. Actually, we got your contact from some other way, but finally we came to know that we are from our district itself. So we are very happy while contacting you, sir. And yesterday's session, today's session were very superb, sir. It's gone very well, and nobody has got bored, and also everybody is eager to see your presentation, sir. Actually, so we are very very happy for that, sir.
Dhruv Kumar, our all participants are meeting my aura is matching. That's why they are liking. If aura will not match, they will not see anything. Always you'll attend the class with very happily. We learn at least 10 points from the class. Then only we are learning. If you'll sit with very sad mood, we are not learning anything. All participants are very active, I think. Thank you very much. And I will.
Even you can see, sir. You can see, sir. Dr. Sudhakar Rao is our sir also there. Their NITTR professor. Next session is theirs only. They are also present here. So they are from Gulbarga. They are studied in Gulbarga, sir. So
Thank you. I leave now because one more talk is there for me. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye to all. Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Bye. Thank you. Our next. Hello. Sir, Sudhakar Rao, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello. Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I am hearing you, sir. Hello.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us, sir. Welcome, sir, to our college FDP Robotics, sir.
Okay, thank you. I will start at 12 o'clock, sir. I will. Sir, my voice
No problem,
clear.
sir. I can.
My voice is clear.
Sir, little bit disturbances we are experiencing, sir.
Okay. Chalo, I'll see just whatever it can happen. Okay. So,
Okay.
is it clearly audible or
Okay,
some
sir.
disturbance is there?
Now it is clearly audible, sir. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, sir. We will all participants will join at 12 o'clock again
I'll
itself.
come at 12 o'clock, sir. Okay, no problem.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.